What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Big T, right here with all of you guys today, and this is your AEW Dynamite review and results show for today, Wednesday, July 26th, 2023. Roderick Strong is causing tension between Adam Cole and MJF. We're going to talk about this and so much more right here tonight on Beyond the Ring with Big T, so get ready. Kick back, relax. We're going to hit the introductions. We're going to get this party started. And your AEW Dynamite review results show for today, Wednesday, July 26, 2023, will be coming your way next. Don't go away because I will be right back.
This is M-Dog20, Matt Cross. We're in Cleveland, Ohio, and you are checking out Beyond the Ring with my man, Big T. Thank you, man. Big T.
Hello, this is EC3 of TNA Wrestling, and you are so very fortunate because you are watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.
This is the bad boy Joey Janela, and you're watching Beyond the Ring, Big T.
How's everybody doing out there tonight? Welcome to the show, everybody. I hope you're ready. Let's talk about AEW Dynamite tonight. And there we go. How you doing? I'm your host, Big T, right here with all of you guys right here, right now, today. This is your AEW Dynamite review and results show for Wednesday, July 26, 2023. And, just so you guys know, everything you need to know really is on the layout of this, for the show here. If you want to call into the show live on Skype with any questions or comments about AEW Dynamite, you can do that on Skype using BigT_119. Check out my website, BeyondTheRingWithBigT.com. Follow me on Twitter, BeyondTheRingBT. Like me, follow me on Facebook, BeyondTheRingWithBigT. Follow me on Instagram at BeyondTheRingWithBigT. And don't forget, use that hashtag Justice for Pretty. Also, don't forget to donate to the show using PayPal. There's a PayPal link at the top of the description of this video and every single video that I do. And there's a PayPal button on my YouTube homepage. Any amount you guys want to donate to the show, big or small, would be very much appreciated. It would really help out. And I got the PayPal link pinned to the YouTube live chat and Facebook live comments. So it's all very easy to find and accessible for you guys. Thank you very much. I'm your host, Big T, right here with all of you guys today. New look for AEW Dynamite this week. As I said, complete overhauls to every show. So big thank you to Mr. Green of EJ's Imaging for making Beyond the Ring with Big T look great for now. Your AEW coverage has got you guys going here for AEW Dynamite. Excuse me while I scratch my chin here. I got a little bit of an itch. So, there you go. But anyway, result page. There we go. Got the results page. AEW Dynamite review and results for Wednesday, July 26, 2023. Triple threat tag team match. Pac versus Gravity. AEW Dynamite for Wednesday, July 26, 2023 came to us live from the MVP Arena in Albany, New York. A huge triple threat tag team match is scheduled for tonight. Let's see. Albany, New York. Now AEW's working on the East Coast thing. Alright. Alright. A huge Albany, New York. A huge triple threat tag team match is scheduled for tonight as the Lucha Brothers collide with the Best Friends in Blackpool Combat Club's Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. All three teams will be looking for redemption as the former two teams came up short in a four-way match for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships at Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor, with the latter team found themselves on the losing side of the Blood and Guts match, which was the Blackpool Combat Club, between the Golden Elite and the Blackpool Combat Club. Pac and Konosuke Takeshita was on the Blackpool Combat Club's team. That was last Wednesday. Pac himself looks to pick up a win of his own tonight as he collides with Gravity. Gravity has been featured in promos such as AAA, The Crash, and Ring of Honor, and last competed in an AEW ring on the February 14, 2023 episode of AEW Dark, during which he ultimately came up short against Kip Sabian. The International Championship will be up for grabs as reigning International Champion Orange Cassidy defends his title against AR Fox. Freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy agreed to this match last week after AR Fox's longtime friend Darby Allin asked for it as a means of paying him back for all the help that he's provided him over the years. Speaking of Darby Allin, he was able to secure himself an AEW TNT Championship match against Luchasaurus this past Friday on AEW Rampage after he eliminated Swerve Strickland during Royal Rampage. The longtime rivals look to settle their differences tonight as they go head-to-head. Taya Valkyrie had some choice words for Dr. Britt Baker DMD and challenged her to a one-on-one match following her victory against Sky Blue this past Saturday on AEW Collision. Tonight, these two women will be squaring off with one another for the first time ever, and I gotta throw my 2 cents in here, guys. To be honest, I could care less. I wish I didn't even have to review that match because I'm not a fan of either. So, I wish that's something I could skip over, but I know some of you guys are depending on it, and it was the only women's match of the night, so to be a professional and do my job, I'll review it, but honestly, I just don't care about either one of them in that match. Additionally, AEW World Heavyweight Champion MJF and Adam Cole have something on their minds to share in light of winning the Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament last Wednesday night and earning themselves a shot at the World Tag Team Championships. So, the live show starts off as we're live. Excalibur, Taz, Tony Schiavone, they all greet audiences at home as Orange Cassidy makes his way down to the ring and AR Fox follows. So, start off here. AEW International Championship match. AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy defending the title against AR Fox. Singles match. The bell rings. Both men shake hands. They lock up. They're going back and forth, locking each other in submission holds until Orange Cassidy slides out of the ring for a breather. Fox follows him and delivers a moonsault off the ring post. And then he tosses Orange Cassidy back in the ring and ascends to the top. He looks for the 450 splash, but Orange Cassidy ducks it and lands the Stun Dog Millionaire. Fox fires back with a mule kick and a stunner, and then follows that up with a twisting brainbuster and goes for the pin, but Orange Cassidy kicks out. Go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. Orange Cassidy delivers a drop kick to Fox's knee. Fox fires back with a boot. Orange Cassidy does the same. Both men exchange boot. They continue to exchange boots before leveling one another with neck breakers. Orange Cassidy sends Fox into the opposite turnbuckles repeatedly. The action spills to the outside of the ring, and Fox goes flying over the top rope to take down Orange Cassidy as he tosses him back in the ring and then ascends to the top and lands a senton bomb. He goes for a pin, but Orange Cassidy kicks out. Orange Cassidy then delivers a tornado DDT and a beach break, and then sets up for the Orange Punch, but Fox avoids the Orange Punch and sends Orange Cassidy on the top rope and joins him up there and then pulls him down the hard way. He lands a senton on the apron and a DDT off the middle rope, and then he climbs back up to the top and looks for the 450 splash. Orange Cassidy rolls out of the way and pins AR Fox, but Fox kicks out. Orange Cassidy manages to pin Fox once more for the 1-2-3 and the pin and the win. So, your winner and still the AEW International Champion is indeed Orange Cassidy, continuing to set records here. So I think that's awesome. Let's see, JQ James, what's up? If you ask me, Miro should be the one to dethrone Orange Cassidy. The Redeemer must be redeemed. I go with Miro, too. Miro would be the guy I would pick. Hunter, hello, how are you? Alright. So it was a good match to start the show off. You know, pretty fast-paced. You know, AR Fox got some good offense in on Orange Cassidy. So, I mean, overall was good. After the match, Orange Cassidy puts his sunglasses on as his sunglasses on AR Fox as a show of respect here. Fox then takes them off his face and breaks them in half. So I don't know if this is his way of a heel turn, but he takes them off his face and breaks them in half, and clocks Orange Cassidy with the right hand and quickly retreats in disbelief of what he just did. Darby Allin then runs down to the ring and asks the AR Fox what he just did, as he says it was an embarrassment for him and tells him to simply take the loss. Fox insists it was a mistake and heads to the back as Darby Allin continues to berate AR Fox. So, sounds to me like AR Fox is on his way of, to a heel turn here. But it was a great match, enjoyable, I liked it. Jon Moxley then appears out of nowhere and delivers both a King Kong Lariat and the Death Rider to Orange Cassidy. So does this mean that we're going to get a Jon Moxley Orange Cassidy feud? Because if that's a future match for the AEW International Championship, could Jon Moxley also be the guy? I don't know. We'll see what they're planning on. We then head backstage to Chris Jericho, Don Callis, and Renee Paquette. Renee says that Don Callis requested time to speak to Chris Jericho. Callis says he made arrangements for Jericho to tag with Konosuke Takeshita in a match. Jericho says, hey, I'm willing to give it a go. And Callis reveals that they will be facing Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. Jericho becomes unsure of the whole idea after hearing who their opponents will be, but still agrees to participate in the match. Don Callis then presents Chris Jericho with a painting of himself, Chris Jericho, and Bad News Allen. And Don Callis says he'll take care of it and get it hung for Jericho. So we go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. We head backstage to Claudio Castagnoli in Wheeler, Utah. Claudio warns the locker room not to mess with the Blackpool Combat Club and then tells Pac that Death Before Dishonor was just the beginning. Jon Moxley then walks in and tells the Lucha Brothers and the Best Friends that they will pay for Pac's mistake later tonight. So Moxley is looks like he's on the rampage here a little bit. No pun intended, because I know AEW has a show called Rampage, but yeah. Back at ringside, Tony Schiavone is waiting inside the ring, and we hear from Jack Perry. No more Jungle Boy, he is Jack Perry, which is his real name. So now when Tony Schiavone does the introductions, he introduces him as Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Perry makes his way down to the ring, and Schiavone asks Perry about the negative fan response following his recent win of the FTW World Heavyweight Championship. Perry says he beat Hook, and Hook went home because he couldn't hang with the big boys. Perry says when he said he would be winning a championship, he didn't mean the FTW Championship, as Perry says the title he holds was created in a second-class company, and despite the fact that it is not officially recognized, it became a big deal when he captured it. So he speaks directly to Taz and says he would have beaten Taz and all his friends back in the day. So right now, right when he says that, it's like a cue. You know, I would have beaten you, Taz, and all your friends back in the day. Well, one of Taz's friends from back in the day in ECW, Jerry Lynn, just marches right down to the ring and says, you know, myself and my colleagues in ECW paved the way, you know, for the companies of today. Jerry Lynn says, you know, without that company, without ECW, there would be no Jungle Boy. And Jerry Lynn says that that Jack Perry is in for a beating if he keeps running his mouth. So Perry says he would like to see who would do so, who would beat him up. Jerry Lynn drops his microphone. He says he's ready for a fight. Perry backs down and says, hey man, I'm not dressed for a fight, but I'll challenge you to a one-on-one match next week at AEW Dynamite 200, the 200th episode. Jerry Lynn was down on it. Tony Khan signed it up and confirmed it. Next week, Jungle Boy Jerry Lynn in a match one-on-one. or Jack Perry and Jerry Lynn. It's like I'm gonna have to always keep calling him Jungle Boy. For now, because I'm just so used to calling him Jungle Boy. But that was a good segment. I love Jungle Boy's Jack Perry. I'm sorry. Jack Perry's heel turn. And I think it's been very good. The whole thing is, where did Hook go? Because they showed this vignette of Hook sitting on a bench waiting for a subway in New York. He had the FTW Championship next to him. The subway sped by. The train sped by. And then Hook was sitting on the bench all by himself. The FTW Championship was gone. And then train went by again. Hook was gone. And then the name Hook was just there. So, is Hook going on hiatus now? What's the whole deal? I'm kind of interested to find out where they're going to go with this. Let's see. I was just not going to lie. I always pop when I hear the Fifth Symphony of Beethoven on AEW. Yeah, there you go. JQ James says that they want to make Jack Perry more of a dick, have his girlfriend Anna Jay by his side. It would fit him perfectly. Honestly, it would be great for them to do that, because Anna Jay is not doing anything right now in the Jericho Appreciation Society, because that group is on its way out. It's ran its course. Jericho's on his way to joining Don Callis and be part of the Don Callis family. So, what they can do so easily is Anna Jay, she doesn't even have to wrestle. She can just be his valet. All she has to do is stand there, and even when he's having matches, just stand outside of the ring. Interfere. Not in every match, but in some. Like when he's against big-name opponents and he's actually going to lose. I'm not saying against anybody, because if you do it against anybody and everybody, it's going to burn that out, and then you're going to have Jack Perry looking like the biggest coward heel ever. You want him to be able to fight for himself, but when he's got opponents that are big enough and that are big enough of a threat, that's when you utilize his real-life girlfriend and Anna Jay to help him out at ringside. It would be a nice thing if they would do that, though. It would add to his heel gimmick for sure. So, after this, guys, let's see what we had next. And I do have a few little news stories that I will get into once I get through this review a little bit more. I got news on Dustin Rhodes' AEW contract situation, news on why nobody fell off the Blood and Guts cage. Orange Cassidy, his successful defense of the title, by the way, was number 27th defense of the titles. So, yeah, I got plenty of stuff to get into with you guys. Don't worry. Next up, Pac makes his way down to the ring, and then Gravity comes down. So we got Pac versus Gravity. Gravity's making his AEW Dynamite debut. Pac is back. So the bell rings. Gravity delivers a series of drop kicks, the last of which sends Pac crashing out of the ring as Pac slides back inside. But Gravity opts to slide out, and Pac follows him. Gravity slides back in. Pac chases him, but Gravity slides out. Pac then catches him with a kick through the ropes. Gravity responds by sending him into the barricade and delivering a power slam to him on the floor as he follows it up with a stalling splash. Go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. We see the Blackpool Combat Club watching the action from backstage as Pac delivers a right hand to Gravity in the corner as he charges at him, but Gravity gets his boot up and delivers a crossbody out of the corner. Pac fires back with a pair of kicks, to his midsection and sits Gravity on the top rope and delivers a superplex. As he, Pac transitions into the Brutalizer submission, and then Gravity taps out, so your winner is Pac. After the match, Pac keeps the Brutalizer submission locked in for a few seconds longer on Gravity. And that was that. It's alright match for these two. It wasn't, it's fantastic, but it wasn't bad either. It was a good match. So, yeah, Heels is coming back. JQ Heels is coming back. Let's see. What else do we got in here? Pac's Titantron. Yeah, it was filmed in 2020. That's right. That's right. You're right about that. Let's see. Hi, Courtney. How are you? Courtney says, hi, boys. I'm advocating for more female outlooks. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here. And actually, on the show tonight, they only had one women's match, and at least for me, the women's match that they had didn't do no good for me. Plus, the two competitors in it, I really didn't care about, but we'll get into that later as we go down the line here. But pleasure to have you here, Courtney. And let's see. We then head over to a video package from last week of Renee Paquette, Adam Cole, baby, and MJF. After winning the Blind Eliminator Tag, the Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament, Paquette asks for their thoughts, and Cole looks to speak. MJF cuts him off and takes several shots at Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler before saying himself and Adam Cole are better than them, baby. That's how they said it. But, this is where things got very interesting. Very, very interesting. This was actually the big highlight of the show. Not to say that the show was bad, but, they didn't have that show-stealing headlining match. They didn't have that just thing that really jumped off the page. Now, this jumped right off the page. This jumped right off the page. And I'll tell you why. Because it's leading into a bigger storyline. That's the whole thing. But anyway. Adam Cole says he has something to say to MJF. And says while he came to AEW looking for gold, he found something much better. A friend in MJF. Adam Cole says he meant nothing when he grabbed the AEW World Heavyweight Championship and calls MJF one of his closest friends. So, you gotta look at this from two perspectives here before I go any further into this and dive any further into this. Okay? Is Adam Cole really sucking up and buying into MJF's narrative? Is he really believing it? Or is Adam Cole trying to sucker MJF in? Is it the opposite? You got to really think of this here. And when is this whole feud going to culminate? Is it going to be at All in Wembley Stadium? Or is it going to be an All Out in Chicago? I don't know. I do not know. I mean, yeah, it was definitely a filler night, but it was great. It was better than what we got on Raw. Because, I mean, WWE's really been in a funk lately. I mean, the highlight of Raw, and I'm not saying this like it's a bad thing, because it's not. The highlight of Raw was, for real, legitimately, Ricochet's promo. There was nothing big on Raw at all. Ricochet's promo was big. I mean, if you're comparing Raw to this show tonight, and this show was, middle of the road for AEW, but if you're comparing this to Raw, this show was a 10 out of 10 compared to Raw, because Raw was just, you could tell it's Vince McMahon run, you just know the construction of a Vince McMahon show. But the whole thing is here. JQ says Adam Cole is going to turn on MJF. Very possible. Courtney, Ricochet was great. Ricochet is doing an awesome job. Love what he's doing. Especially his promo work, he's come such a long way. It's amazing, really, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do with Logan Paul at SummerSlam. That's going to be exciting. Hunter, absolutely, that's right, too. It's ironic that Ricochet's promo was big on Raw, and then tonight it's MJF and Adam Cole and Roderick Strong's promo. Yes, promo segments have been the hot hand this week. That's what's been the hot hand this week in wrestling is promo segments. But, as I'm looking here, the next part of this, okay, when Adam Cole says he meant nothing by grabbing the World Heavyweight Championship, MJF is one of his closest friends. So MJF now is starting to kind of soften up, and he's like, you know what, man? He's like, no matter what, win, lose, or draw in the match on Collision on Saturday night, whether we're AEW World Tag Team Championships or not, MJF then says, I'll offer you a shot at the AEW World Championship after our World Tag Team title match with MJF. And Adam Cole's like, he's playing it up. He's like, oh man, really? Really? You're going to do that? Oh, thank you. Like, that's so cool. So, yeah, like, Adam Cole's like, yeah, I got this guy where I want him, Courtney, it's nothing wrong with that. I mean, sometimes when it comes to wrestling, I know for me, especially when it's my favorites, I get a little bit biased myself. So, there's nothing wrong with it at all. Ricochet did an awesome job. But this got even more interesting after MJF was like, yeah, I'll give you a shot. Then this leads to this, okay? And it angered Roderick Strong. He just comes storming in the back area, right? He still has his neck brace on, everything. Roderick Strong, he's pushing MJF. Adam Cole's pushing the two of them, Roderick Strong and MJF, apart. And Roderick Strong, he warns Adam Cole once again, like, man, get away from him. And Roderick Strong's telling MJF, stay away from my friend. And Roderick Strong's telling Adam Cole that MJF will turn on him. And then Roderick Strong's getting all up in MJF's face. Adam Cole is diffusing the situation. He tells MJF, he's like, man, let me talk to him here. You can go on off. I'll meet up with you later. I'll discuss the whole situation, whatnot. So MJF just walks off, right? And then Adam Cole turns to Roderick Strong, and he's like, listen, Roddy, we're friends, but man, I got other friends, And Adam Cole goes to Roderick Strong. He's like, also, you're being very possessive. And Adam Cole's like, I'm just going to go talk to MJF. Roderick Strong tries to stop Adam Cole by grabbing him, and Adam Cole is pulling away from Roderick Strong as Adam Cole just heads off. And that's it. This is getting good. This is getting really, really good. I can't wait to see this unfold. Because this is going to be huge when this all starts coming down. Trust me. This is going to be a huge, huge story. I mean, MJF could easily turn on Adam Cole. If Adam Cole turns on MJF, people are saying Adam Cole would need to be heel in order to do that. Not really. Because even though MJF is this babyface right now, if Adam Cole turns on MJF, Adam Cole could easily give a reason. Say the next week on Dynamite, Adam Cole could play maybe a recorded phone conversation with MJF and somebody. Adam Cole could maybe play a video of MJF talking with somebody about Adam Cole, and Adam Cole knows something that the world doesn't know yet. Or Adam Cole could just play it off like, come on, guys, we all know what MJF really is. I just had to turn on him before he turned on me. So, even if Adam Cole does strike first, he is not going to be the one that's going to be looked at as the heel. The heel role is automatically going to flip right back on MJF because that's what MJF is, natural heel. Simple. I mean, this is not hard to book. People started to make this complicated. Why is everybody making this complicated when you could just simplify it and the facts are right there in front of you? You know? I mean, for real. So, I mean, that's where I'm at with this. I think it would be cooler if Adam Cole is the one to pull that proverbial trigger first, strike, attack MJF, and it'll make for a more interesting story. But we'll see what happens. Because now MJF already gave up that title shot. Adam Cole's got the title shot in the bag as soon as that tag title match is over. So, it's going to be interesting. Let's see, Hunter says, Adam Cole and Roderick Strong seems like a toxic relationship. Courtney's like, Hunter, so much toxicity. It's been toxic right now. The Adam Cole, and then JQ says, the Adam Cole MJF storyline is the second best thing on television. The Bloodline is number one, clearly. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, these are the two best storylines in professional wrestling going right now. Let's see, people are making it complicated because we live in a world of complicated people. Well, Hunter, you know what? There's nothing wrong with complicated people. The whole thing is how you have to look at this. I'm complicated. I am a complicated person. But, you know, a lot of people are. The whole thing is, there's no reason to complicate professional wrestling. I mean, if you think about what this fan base wants, why does everybody sit down on their couch, in their chair, maybe lay in their bed, sit on their bed, you know, enjoy a wrestling show on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday night? Why? Because they want to be able to sit there, they want to be able to suspend their disbelief for 2 hours out of their day and just have a little fun and enjoy professional wrestling. But then you got people, I'm talking about creative people that work within the business, they want to complicate the shit out of everything. And they want to start doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that. AEW doesn't do it so much. But WWE, you got Vince McMahon with all his cooks in the kitchen, you know. You got 30 creative writers for Raw, another 30 creative writers for SmackDown, and then you got Vince right there in the middle looking left and right at what each of these teams are doing. And then whatever those teams do, he rips it up, he throws it in the garbage, and he writes it himself. But what he does is so stupid and complicated, and it doesn't make sense. Why not do the simple things? Simple is better. Less is more. See, this is another problem with wrestling on TV too damn much. It's on TV too damn much at this point. I miss the days when you had one show a week. Courtney, you're absolutely right, yeah. You're absolutely right, you know. some of this stuff, yeah, you could predict, when it's Vince McMahon doing it. You could predict when it's Triple H doing it. I mean, who's behind these certain things by how they do this already. And yeah, and Courtney was all excited going beyond the ring, and we're going to go beyond the ring right now. But yeah, Hunter, work smarter, not harder, basically. Yes, that's my point. Because when you're doing things simple, you're doing it easy. You're not going to insult your audience's intelligence. Your audience's intelligence are not going to get insulted, and they're going to be better off in the end. Let's see, simple isn't better until there's a story. Absolutely, Courtney, absolutely. But this story with Adam Cole and MJF is established. This is established and ready to go. So they went through that part of the building blocks and everything, and now this story's here. So now it's time for Tony Khan and everybody in AEW to make this simple and let it play out. Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. Simple isn't better until there's a story. But yeah, absolutely. When there's a story in place and it's getting over organically, like this story is getting over, anytime MJF and Adam Cole are out there, I mean, people are on their feet, people are cheering, people are excited, people want to know what's going to happen with this story. They got it over to this point. So now that they got it to this point, they have to start pulling back, go from all those building blocks they laid down. They went through the complicated parts. Now just be simple and let this ride, and it's going to be a beautiful story. It really will be. It's going to be a beautiful story. But yeah, I see Courtney's point 100%. Yeah, you have to have the complicated stuff. You can't just have simple, with no story. Yeah, there's got to be a story first. Exactly. This story, the groundwork is done. So I hope Tony Khan's going to do right by this now and just let it get simple, let it play out the way it needs to play out. It's already over. People are invested. And I can't wait to see how this is going to play out, though. This is exciting. Roderick Strong, what role is he going to play? Is Roderick Strong really in MJF's back pocket? Is Roderick Strong going to be the one to turn on Adam Cole? Are they going to drag this out where MJF and Adam Cole are friendly into their title match, and then maybe Roderick Strong is the one to turn on Adam Cole and cost him the championship? That's another caveat that you could throw into this whole story. There's a lot of things that could go into this. Just gotta let it play out. But yeah, beautiful stuff here. Great story. Great things that they're putting together here. And best part of the night, honestly. But yeah, after this, we go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. We head to a video of FTR and Renee Paquette from last Wednesday night responding to MJF's comments about them. We go back at ringside. Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana head down to the ring as Darby Allin and Nick Wayne come down to the ring. So we got Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana in his corner going up against Darby Allin with Nick Wayne in his corner. The bell rings, both men lock up. They go back and forth with submission holds before Darby delivers an arm drag. Swerve dumps him onto the apron and the action spills to the outside as Darby plants Swerve with a code red and tosses him back into the ring. Swerve then rolls back out of the ring. Darby follows and he sends him into the steel ring step shoulder first and then pulls them out of the corner. Swerve uses it to his advantage and delivers a kick to Darby off of them. Go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. Darby delivers a kick to Swerve out of the corner. Swerve fires back with a brainbuster before both men take turns rolling one another up. Darby then pins Swerve with the Last Supper, but Swerve kicks out. I can't believe Swerve kicked out of the Last Supper pin. Darby then spears Swerve to the outside through the middle rope and then tosses him back inside as Swerve rolls back out. Darby looks to go flying and levels him as Swerve catches him with a knee in midair and then dumps him back inside and ascends to the top. As he lands the Swerve stomp and goes for a pin, Darby kicks out of that. Both men then end up on the top rope. Darby then delivers a flipping stunner as Swerve rolls onto the apron and ascends to the top as Swerve trips him and ascends to the top rope before getting Darby up on his shoulders and delivering a Death Valley driver on the apron. Darby looks to get back in the ring, but a hooded figure blindsides him and sends him crashing into the ring post while the referee is distracted. Darby then gets back in the ring and gets caught with the Swerve for the 1-2-3 and the pin and the win. Your winner is Swerve Strickland. After the match, the hooded figure reveals themselves to be AR Fox as Nick Wayne attacks Swerve Strickland in the corner, but AR Fox grabs Darby Allin's skateboard and hits Nick Wayne with it as he then holds up a Mogul Embassy t-shirt officially joining the group. So AR Fox now is officially with the Mogul Embassy. So, AR Fox, full heel turn complete. We then head backstage and see Chris Jericho meeting with Daddy Magic Matt Menard, Cool Hand Ange, Angelo Parker, Ty Mello, and Anna J.A.S. Jericho asks Ty how her baby is, and Ty says her daughter's doing great, but whole thing is she didn't have a daughter yet. But Ty asks Jericho what's going on. Parker chimes in. He holds his comb out to Jericho and tells him that he gave it to him as he pulls it away from Jericho and says it is not ready, he's not ready to give it back. He expresses his doubts about Jericho. Anna Jay then calls Jericho selfish and says Jericho never appreciated the group despite them appreciating him, as she says they can no longer give him 100% before walking off with Anna Jay, Ty Mello, and Cool Hand Angelo Parker. Jericho asks them if they think it's easy, and Daddy Magic Matt Menard tells Jericho it is. He tells him to figure it out and do it fast. So, the JAS, the Jericho Appreciation Society, is falling apart at the seams as we speak. JQ James says, I'm glad they got AR Fox working with Swerve again. I can never forget what they did in Lucha Underground. It was legendary. Yeah, they did some good stuff down there. Definitely. Yeah, this is awesome. So I can't wait to see what they do. This match I could honestly give... I couldn't even give a single solitary fuck or shit about this match. I'm sorry, it's just the way it goes. Women's action, go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. Dr. Britt Baker DMD heads down to the ring. Ty Valkyrie follows, so we got Dr. Britt Baker DMD versus Ty Valkyrie. My God, this match, it was full of botches. It was just... talk about a mess. This is painful, and I gotta review it right now. I really don't care about either of these women, good God, and... Anyway, the bell rings, both women lock up, they go back and forth with submissions. Before Taya lands a shoulder tackle and the running double knees in the corner, she fires off stomps and then delivers a pair of chops and a clothesline before firing off elbow strikes. Go to commercial, comes back from the break. Britt delivers a series of knees to Taya's head and then sends her into the top turnbuckle face first, and then follows it up with a vicious right hand. And both women, they go back and forth with forearms before Taya delivers a kick to Britt's head. Britt responds with a super kick and a lariat, but Taya plants her with a Northern Lights suplex. Britt then lands another super kick in the Panama Sunrise and goes for a pin. Taya kicks out. Britt calls for the lockjaw. Ty prevents Britt from doing so, from hitting the lockjaw, and Ty delivers a spear, and then Ty delivers the Road to Valhalla. Britt counters that and escapes, and Britt takes down Ty and locks in the lockjaw. Ty Valkyrie taps out immediately here, I mean, immediately. And your winner is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Ooh. Does anybody really care about this match? Did anybody care, honestly? I mean, I know I didn't. I did not care. If you guys cared, then you must love mediocre, subpar wrestling, and you know what? That's just something that I don't enjoy at all. I am not into mediocre, subpar wrestling, and just not my thing. This was bad. This is just not good. Nothing good about it. I'm done with this match. Okay. Let's see. JQ James's Britt and Ty's match was definitely sloppy, to say the least. I think it was the sloppiest women's match. I'm being straight honest. I think this was the sloppiest women's match and the women's match with the most botches that I have seen in the history of AEW's women's wrestling. Really. I mean, this was very poorly executed. These two did not gel together. I mean, beyond, say in a world where I would say, oh, these are my, which this is not the case. I'm speaking hypothetically, But just say in a different world, if I was like, oh, these are my two favorite women wrestlers, I would be sitting here telling you it was a bad match either way. But in the real world, they are not my favorite women's wrestlers. They are at the bottom of the list of women's wrestlers, right along with Chelsea Green. You know what? They just need to go join up with Chelsea Green and, Ty Valkyrie, Britt Baker, Chelsea Green. They could go be a trio. They could be the lost souls on the professional wrestling independent circuit. They could label themselves as a trio, call themselves the Lost Soul, and they could job out to every other trio of women on the indies. Because that's about what those three are worth. But, let's see, Courtney didn't seem into this match either. I don't blame her, because she's like, nope. But Courtney does say, I'll produce the women. She goes to JQ, I'll produce the women, just one chance. Courtney, I know you'd be able to produce the women perfectly. If you would be able to produce the women's segment, I think women's wrestling would be exactly this. A chef's kiss. But anyway, JQ says we need Thunder Rosa back, Tony. I know a lot of people, they do like Thunder Rosa. I mean, we'll see what happens when she gets back. I don't know what she's going to be like, due to her back injury. Sometimes when people have back injuries, I'm hoping she's fully recovered. But some people, when they have devastating back injuries the way that she had it, they're not always the same as when they come back. So, we'll just have to keep our eyes on it and see how she is, honestly. That's the only thing we can do. But at this point, guys, what I got left here? Only one match. We're at the end of the show. We are at the end of the show. Let's see. Courtney put up an emoji here. Oh, she put up an emoji. Alright. Let me see. Alright guys, are you ready for the main event of the evening for AEW Dynamite tonight? Let's get into it. Best friends head down to the ring. The Lucha Brothers and Alex Abrahantes and the Blackpool Combat Club, they all come out. So we got Blackpool Combat Club, which is Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli with Wheeler Yuta in their corner. They're going up against the Lucha Brothers of Pentagon and Rey Fenix with Alex Abrahantes and the Best Friends of Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta. So triple threat tag team match. Now, as far as how this match goes, bell rings and the Lucha Brothers start brawling with the Best Friends. Best Friends level the Lucha Brothers with double boots before Claudio and Moxley join in the fight. Moxley drags Taylor up the ramp using his shirt and delivers a forearm to him as Beretta and Claudio are closely in pursuit. Taylor tosses Moxley off the stage as the two other teams meet them in the area. Taylor then levels all the men and goes flying off the ramp before going after Claudio. Claudio tosses him into the steel ring steps and gets in the ring with Rey Fenix. Fenix then fires off chops, but Claudio responds with right hands and whips him into the corner as he charges at him. But Fenix gets up his boot and delivers an arm drag off the top rope as he then delivers a double stomp but is caught with a pop-up European uppercut from Claudio. Moxley tags in and jams his knee into Fenix and then delivers a lariat in the corner. Claudio tags in and Moxley delivers a snap suplex. Claudio then lands a leg drop and a lariat, but Rey Fenix catches him with a super kick. Trent Beretta tags himself and then delivers right hands to Claudio. He executes a tornado DDT to Claudio off of Rey Fenix and follows it up with a Saito suplex. Claudio rolls out of the ring and Beretta looks to go flying as Claudio catches him with an uppercut and tags in Moxley. Moxley delivers a King Kong lariat and drags Beretta into the corner as he delivers a stomp off the middle, off the apron or off the ring apron. And then we go to commercial and then we come back from the commercial break. Claudio and Beretta are teetering on the top rope as Beretta knocks Claudio off and delivers a dropkick and then tags in Taylor. Moxley tags in. Taylor catches Moxley with the soul food as he follows it up with a jumping knee strike and a German suplex. Penta tags in and delivers a pair of sling blades to Taylor and then follows it up with a backstabber as the Blackpool Combat Club gets inside the ring and double teams on Beretta. They look to do the same to Penta, but Fenix levels them with a crossbody off the top rope. Taylor then rolls up Penta, but Penta kicks out. Beretta then tags in and the Best Friends begin brawling with the Lucha Bros and the Blackpool Combat Club. Beretta and Taylor take a second to hug before delivering pile drivers to the Lucha Brothers after Moxley and Claudio are sent tumbling out of the ring. And the Lucha Brothers, they then cinch in submission holds on the Best Friends before Penta delivers Made in Japan to Beretta as he goes for a pin, but the Blackpool Combat Club breaks up the fall. Moxley lands the paradigm shift on Fenix as Claudio delivers a powerbomb to Taylor, which is the Ricola bomb, as he looks to plant Beretta. But before he can, Orange Cassidy's music hits. Orange Cassidy makes his way down to the ring and delivers an orange punch to Yuta. And then he meets Moxley on the outside as Beretta delivers a belly-to-back pile driver and goes for a pin, but the referee refuses to count as he is not the legal man. This opens the door for Penta to hit the Fear Factor for the 1-2-3 and the pin of the win. Your winners are the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Rey Fenix. After the match, Orange Cassidy continues brawling with Jon Moxley. Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta look to overpower him, but the Lucha Brothers try to stop it. The three teams then continue brawling with one another as the show goes off the air. So, that was it. That's how AEW Dynamite went off the air, folks. It was a great match. It was wild. It was crazy. It was everything that you'd love to see. And I got a little bit, of news things for you guys. regarding Blood and Guts from last week, and a couple of other things. So let me speed through this real fast because these are just quick little stories. So we'll get these done within the next 5 minutes. So let's rock and roll through these, and I'll tell you what we got. Okay. So first off, details on why nobody fell off of AEW's Blood and Guts cage. Who suggested the bed of nails? So there's a few things here to get into. The staple of AEW's Blood and Guts is unprecedented violence. With each installment of the company's take on war games, the combatants find new, gruesome, and exciting ways to maim their opponents. But as with most professional wrestling, particularly those promotions that air on live television, nothing happens unless there's some kind of coincidence that it can happen safely. That is why when it came to the brutal battle between the Golden Elite and the Blackpool Combat Club, Kenosuke Takeshita and Pac, there had to be some give and take. For example, while we got a bed of nails, we didn't see anyone getting thrown off of the cage. Sports Illustrated took a deep dive into the annual spectacle and reported that the nails were an idea from the twisted mind of Jon Moxley. Apparently he has wanted to use the apparatus for quite some time now in AEW, and this seemed like the perfect match for it to make an appearance. While Moxley and Kenny Omega took the brunt of the damage from the weapon after it was introduced, Kota Ibushi utilized it as well when he delivered a standing moonsault to Moxley, who had made his own bed. As for the spot on top of the cage, everyone involved wanted to use that opportunity to adjust fan expectations. Despite having Wheeler Yuta and Matt Jackson attempt to throw each other off the double cage, they ultimately didn't want the fans to get accustomed to that moment in every Blood and Guts match. According to the report, if The Undertaker had hurled Mick Foley off of the cage multiple times, an extraordinary moment would quickly become ordinary. Instead, Yuta played the cowardly heel, climbed down before he could sustain any more damage, and rejoined the carnage inside the cage. So I think that's a pretty good reason right there as to why nobody flew off the cage. As far as more news on anything Blood and Guts, which I do have here for you guys. Big moment for Hangman Adam Page was cut from AEW Blood and Guts due to the match running long. What is the moment? We'll find out right now, given that it featured broken glass, thumbtacks, men brawling on top of the cage, and even a bed of nails. It is hard to believe that there was anything missing from the Blood and Guts match last week on AEW Dynamite, which saw the Golden Elite defeat the Blackpool Combat Club's Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta, along with Kenosuke Takeshita and Pac. But somehow there was more craziness planned for the match. Sports Illustrated reports that the Blood and Guts match was at one point on a pace to run a little bit too long, potentially even over the TV time allotted or allocated by TBS. Because of this, one spot involving Hangman Adam Page, which was described as a big moment, had to be scrapped in order for the match to end prior to AEW Dynamite going off the air. It isn't clear what the big moment involving Hangman Adam Page would have entailed. Hangman's spot was one of a few things affected by the match running a little bit longer. That includes the finish, which was said to be loosely constructed and then changed due to a lack of time, and a post-show promo cut by Kenny Omega where the Elite and the Blackpool Combat Club made peace. Originally, the speech likely would have been included as part of the broadcast, as AEW was looking to conclude Blood and Guts with 10 minutes to spare. Due to the match's length, however, the episode was left with only 2 minutes before it went off the air. Despite the issues with the timing of the match, the Hangman Adam Page moment and Kenny Omega's speech were ultimately the only things of note that had to be scrapped for time, with every other key point being hit during the match. So there you go. You kind of know why those things happen now. And what else do I got for you? There's only like a couple more things here. There is news on the speculation of Billy Gunn's retirement. And then the last piece of news after that will be involving Dustin Rhodes' AEW contract situation. So we're at the end of the road here, guys. Mark Henry weighs in on Billy Gunn retirement speculation following a loss to the House of Black on Saturday's episode of AEW Collision on Saturday night. Billy Gunn made an unexpected move out of frustration from being pinned. Billy Gunn slid off his wrestling boots and placed them in the center of the ring. After his subsequent exit from the ring, he brushed past his tag team partners Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, who were waiting for him on the outside. This action has now led many people to speculate about Billy Gunn's in-ring future, which at this point appears to be headed towards possible retirement. Speaking on Busted Open Radio, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry weighed in on the situation. Mark Henry says, and I quote, "Billy Gunn is now 58 years old. He don't look 58, but there comes a time when you just can't do it no more. Not at the level that you feel like you should be at. Or the emotions may have gotten to him. I mean, he did lose. Did they lose because of him? Was there something where he felt like, shit, if I was better, if I was younger, and then the emotion overwhelms you, and you just make a knee-jerk reaction, maybe that's it? I don't know. We'll find out, but I've been there." Mark Henry continued to say, "It wasn't about the losing. It was about how I saw the way I looked on screen. I'm like, damn, I lost a step. And when I see it, I know the fans see it. So that was it for me. I didn't ever want to look like that again. And maybe Billy just saw himself slip. As of this writing, Billy Gunn nor AEW has provided clarity on his in-ring future after he walked away from the Acclaimed as Bowens made sure to retrieve his boots from the ring." This was from Busted Open Radio. Wrestling Inc. did the transcription for that. Alright, guys. Couple more things here. Let's see. What do we got? Dustin Rhodes' AEW contract situation, which we're going to save that one for last. Let's do this one first. Because haven't seen him in the news for a while, but I just want to touch on it. Buff Bagwell. Buff the Stuff Bagwell. He was a guest on my podcast before, years ago. But Buff Bagwell clarifies his recent arrest and offers sobriety update. Following this morning's report that former WCW star Marcus Buff Bagwell was arrested earlier this month for driving under the influence of drugs, Bagwell has taken to social media to clarify the situation. According to Buff Bagwell, via Twitter, his arrest was based on a previous offense, and he is currently almost 11 months sober. Buff Bagwell tweeted this out. "Just wanted to clarify to everyone that I am 11 months sober tomorrow. I see there is news out that I had to spend time in jail for a DUI, but this was from the original offense years ago. I did a recent sanction because I did not document a recent trip out of state properly." This is certainly good news for Bagwell's friends and fans, as Bagwell has long been engaged in a public battle for sobriety. Last August, Bagwell checked himself into a rehab facility with the support of his friend DDP Diamond Dallas Page, who invited Bagwell to live with him to work on his recovery, filming the process for a reality series. It is currently unknown when and where the series focusing on Bagwell will appear, but DDP has teased the involvement of a major cable network. Along with Bagwell, the series will focus on other individuals going through recovery, with all 5 moving into DDP's accountability crib. Back in February, fellow wrestling veteran Jake the Snake Roberts, who himself worked to get sober with the help of DDP, had an anonymous warning from Bagwell: take recovery seriously, or it could mean the end of his life. Like Bagwell, Roberts documented his recovery process, culminating in a documentary titled The Resurrection of Jake the Snake. So, that's what we got. And it says here, if you or anyone you know needs help with addiction issues, help is available. Visit the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration website or contact SAMHSA's National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP, which is 4357. So I'm glad that Buff Bagwell is still sober. Congratulations to him. That's great to hear. And, best to him going forward in the future, to stay sober. And now, guys, in the final story before we head on off into the sunset here, backstage news on the Natural Dustin Rhodes, his current AEW contract status. Dustin Rhodes will continue to be All Elite for a little while longer, with over a year reportedly remaining on his current contract with AEW. According to Fightful Select, that's how much time Dustin Rhodes has left on his AEW deal. Sources told the outlet that Dustin Rhodes' deal is up in September of 2024, as Dustin Rhodes has been with AEW since 2019, since the company opened. Fightful was not told of any extension for the 54-year-old Dustin Rhodes. In December, Rhodes told Busted Open Radio that his deal expires at the end of July in 2023, but Fightful did not have further information on what caused the date change. Many suspected that Rhodes would get involved in his brother Cody Rhodes' SummerSlam match against Brock Lesnar. In an interview in April, Dustin Rhodes said his 35th year in pro wrestling may not be his last. Dustin Rhodes debuted in September of 1988 for Championship Wrestling from Florida. Prior to his AEW run, he was best known for his character Goldust in WWE, and then in 2022, Dustin Rhodes spoke about his next steps in wrestling, which could involve coaching and mentoring. And Dustin Rhodes had previously been coaching in AEW. In addition to his in-ring work, he also owns his own wrestling school, which is the Rhodes Wrestling Academy. So we'll see what happens with Dustin Rhodes, but that's his current contract situation with AEW. Interestingly enough, with Dustin Rhodes, his first match, I guess, in September of 1988, Championship Wrestling from Florida. If you guys remember, legendary professional wrestling photographer, Mr. Bill Onton, who's a great friend of mine, who I've done the Wrestling Road Stories podcast with. He would photograph all the shows back in the day for Florida Championship Wrestling, and, he has told me stories about when he did the photos for Dustin Rhodes' first match. So I already know, all about this, through great stories with Bill. And I just thought this was, pretty cool. I think we actually talked about that too, Dustin Rhodes' first match, on one of the Wrestling Road Stories episodes from, way back in the day when we did it. But I think we actually did talk about that as well. And, Dustin Rhodes, he's still at a high level. He's still performing well. And, we'll see what happens with him going forward. But whatever Dustin Rhodes does decide to do, whether he's going to be a coach, whether he is going to continue wrestling, whether he's going to leave AEW and go to WWE, I mean, who knows? But right now it's looking like September 2024 is going to be when he will be able to do that. But whatever Dustin decides to do, after that point going forward, just want to say that I wish him the best in his journey, for sure. So, there you go, guys. Boy, oh boy, we got another show done. Everything's done and in the books. It went smooth. Everybody had a great time in here. I really enjoy everybody in here, and everybody in here was great, especially Courtney. It was great having her in here too again. Great night. And yeah, guys, as far as what I rate the show, I mean, like I said, Monday Night Raw was just it was so bad on Monday. And, you're looking at what WWE has done with their product lately. And then, you have to rate this up against that. And, for that reason alone. I mean, the only bad thing tonight was Britt Baker and Taya Valkyrie. That was a train wreck. That was the worst women's match in AEW history. Gotta call it like I see it. So for people saying that I don't critique AEW, for people that have said that in the past, or criticize it, of course I do. That was terrible. But, at the end of the day, if we're comparing this to Raw and how bad Raw was, I'm going to tell you this much. WWE Monday Night Raw for today, or not WWE Monday Night Raw, I mean, sorry, AEW Dynamite for today, Wednesday, July 26th, 2023. I'm going to go ahead and give this show right here tonight the old 10 out of 10 plus, and the 2 thumbs up and the big T seal of approval. It was a great show with one bad match, and if you're comparing it to Raw, this blew Monday Night Raw out of the water. So, yeah, but that's going to do it, guys. So, hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed hanging out tonight. I had fun along with you guys, and that's going to do it for me right here. So, I will see all you guys next time. And yes, there will be a next time for me right here on Beyond the Ring with Big T. And that will be for your WWE Friday Night SmackDown and the AEW Collision coverage. That'll be coming your way on Saturday night after AEW Collision. Because more than likely I'll be going out Friday night. So Saturday night, you guys know, usually Fridays I'm not here. And I'm not here because I'm, out. But on Saturday night, I'll be here. And that'll be for SmackDown and Collision. So, hope you guys will be here with me for that. And don't forget us and we won't forget you. And of course, if you want the best, and yes, I do mean the absolute best, for all of your professional wrestling needs right here on the internet and right here on YouTube.com today, always remember to think Beyond the Ring with Big T. And then, of course, everybody, thank you very much for watching and listening to your AEW Dynamite review and results show for today, Wednesday, July 26th, 2023. And also a big thank you to AEW and Tony Khan for a great AEW Dynamite show tonight, except for that Britt Baker Taya Valkyrie match, which was a complete disaster. I can't say that enough times. That match was a complete disaster. And I honestly hope we never see that match again. I never want to see those two women in the ring with one another ever again. Even once tonight was too much. Never do it again, Tony Khan, please. Please never do it again. But anyway, so there you go. And of course, everybody, most importantly, always remember and never ever forget that I'm your host, Big T, And then I will see all of you at the matches. And I'll see all of you for your WWE Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Collision review and result shows, which will come your way on Saturday night after Collision. So there you go. And I'm your host, Big T. I'll see all of you at the matches. See you on Saturday night. And take care, everybody. I love you all. And, of course, good night, everybody. Ha, 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 ha.
This is M-Dog 20, Matt Cross. We're in Cleveland, Ohio, and you are checking out Beyond the Ring with my man, Big T. Thank you, man. Big T.
Hello, this is EC3 of TNA Wrestling, and you are so very fortunate because you are watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.
This is the bad boy, Joey Janela, and you're watching Beyond the Ring, AEW.